Three, two, one. Hello and welcome to episode 2 of the PCL Hoops podcast on WSJP. I am your host, Anthony Sorgi, back again with our great panel, Dom Schalk, Gavin Heinerichs, Ryan Sullivan, AJ Farrington alongside. As of our recording, it is Tuesday, February 11th. And guys, it is PCL first round play-in game day. And yeah, how we doing?
I'm doing incredible. I'm quite frankly just hoping for a LaSalle win because I'd love to see that here at the Kelly Fieldhouse.
Yeah, I'm doing good. Looking forward to some good playing games. I really like the 4:30 start time too. I think the 4:30 start time makes it a lot better. More students will go for both teams, so it should be a good afternoon.
I mean, we're feeling good right now. Obviously, the PCL playoffs are about to kick off, underway. I'm ready to roll, and I'm sure everybody else is ready to go.
Yeah, I'm doing all right. I agree with Gavin. I like the start times. I feel like the games being played at 7 o'clock at night was a little odd. So I like that they're putting them right after school, so you get like a section going on and all that. So I'm doing pretty good overall.
Yeah, for sure. Before we get into these playoff games, let's go ahead and go over Sunday slate. All 14 teams were in action. I'll just go each guy. I'll give a game to, and we'll start here with Dom. West Catholic gets the home win over Bonner Prendy, secures their first round bye, 57-43 the final from West Philly.
Look, I have been a West Catholic believer since the beginning, but I think what you really need to talk about is just the skid of Bonner Prendy to end the year, ending the season on a 1-3 run, and then scoring 43 in a must-win game to avoid the play-in. It's just a very disappointing end to the season. And, I mean, West, obviously, they're a strong team led by Burden Wheatley. But I think the main highlight is just a bad Bonner performance to end the year, not showing that clutch factor that they're going to need to come out of this play-in alive.
Now we'll take it to Gavin. Roman, 58-47 over Ryan. Roman down early in that one. At halftime, down 11. They're able to get the comeback win. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, they were down, like you said, 11 at halftime, 30-19, and then they kind of went on a run of their own in the third quarter. Never looked back from there. Archbishop Bryan's a pretty solid basketball team overall, but Roman Catholic just a little bit too much for him. I mean, Sharif Jackson had a big game down low. Brendan Russell couldn't really get it going for Archbishop Bryan, and so when that happens, it's not good if you're a Red Raiders fan.
For sure. Now we'll take it to our South Philly guy, Ryan Sullivan, to talk about Newman Goretti's win, the South Philly team, 81-69 over Archbishop Wood. A good win for the Saints to finish off the regular season.
Newman Goretti, they look good at the current moment in time. Obviously, against St. Joe's Prep, they did not look that great, but I don't think Newman Goretti plays that well as a team. I think it is sometimes a bunch of individuals trying to just get to the basket, go through double teams. But if you are someone like Newman Goretti and you face Archbishop Wood, you can get somebody like Jalen Jenkins outside of the paint, and then you'll have a pretty good day. So, he did have 5 blocks in that game, but if you can get him out of the paint, and if you can drive inside, then, I think you'll be looking fine. 52% from the field, obviously, is nothing to sneeze at. So, good game for Newman Goretti. They got a bunch of scorers. They just got to be able to be efficient with the basketball.
And now we'll take it to AJ Farrington. Devon Prep, 66-38 over Lansdale Catholic. LC, no win for them on the year, AJ. But for Devon Prep, they end up with that 3 seed.
Yeah, I mean, I think the result was not really surprising. I mean, LC hasn't won any game, and 3-seed Devon Prep wasn't a game that anyone was expecting them to take. I will say, though, surprising is just their overall finish. I don't think a single person came into this year thinking Devon Prep was going to be the Devon Prep that we've seen this year. They're kind of written off. I remember actually seeing the PCL opener against Devon, being slightly surprised with how close the game was.
Yeah.
But a lot of surprises from them, and I think that'll be an interesting storyline that follows if they can continue that, or if we see something that happened with the team like Bonner, who was surprising to begin with and then kind of crashed out later on.
Absolutely. Now we'll take it back to Ryan Sullivan here. Commonwealth Egan gets the win over Archbishop Carroll. Ryan, that hot Jim and Radnor, they cannot get a win in that one on the season. We'll let AJ chime in for Egan as well.
Yeah.
What do we think about that, guys?
Yeah, so I called that one. And
you did,
and no one believed me. So I'll take my flowers on that one.
Yeah, I would no longer ever take Carroll to win in their gym again. That gym is a complete disgrace. And I really don't have a problem saying that. But I'm somebody like Munir Gregg. They obviously got some great players there. Rawls is a great player. Matos is a great player. They can all score the basketball. I don't know. Once again, we've talked about their coach, Coach Lowe, whether he deserves to, be let go of the job or not. But that will be decided a different day. But this is a really good team in Archbishop Carroll. They have a bunch of great talents. But they just got to be able to put it all together. And if you're someone like Conwell Egan, you get something to hang your head on high when it comes to this win at the end of the season, and you try to look forward to something next year. Obviously, not the greatest year, but we mentioned before that they're a great fighting team, and they were able to do that in this game.
And next we'll hand it over to Gavin. Judge gets the surprising win over the Prep, 72-64. Gav, what do you think about that?
I wouldn't say it's surprising. I mean, I know the Prep was undefeated coming into this game. They were technically the 1 seed. But Father Judge is a very, very well-coached, fundamental basketball team who has the pieces like Derek Morton-Rivera, Kavera Kennedy, players like that who really get the job done. Kavera Kennedy did a very nice job getting to the rim against St. Joe's Prep. He had 20-plus in that one. Derek Morton-Rivera came alive late for the Crusaders as well. And for St. Joe's Prep, Jaron McKee was really keeping him in that one, 5 for 7 from beyond the arc, and just a great shooting afternoon for him, which is what we love to see. But otherwise, it wasn't really clicking for the Hawks. They were able to stay in this one, but a lot of people may say it's good to lose before the playoffs, and it's especially good to lose by only 8 points where you know you can hang with a team like Father Judge, that they probably will be, assuming everything works out, matched up in that semifinal round.
And last, we give it to Dom Schalk. LaSalle gets that win over Cardinal O'Hara, 63-53. LaSalle not even fully healthy in that one. What are your thoughts on that?
I think LaSalle has – I said they are who we thought they were on the last week's podcast, but I think they are marginally a bit more than the team I believe them to be. I've been impressed by their play to kind of close this last week of PCL play, and especially you combo it in to their upcoming matchup at home against Ryan. I think they honestly are going to come out on top. I just thought it was a good, gritty performance to close out the season against O'Hara and secure themselves home field in the play-in.
Yeah, I would agree with all those takes. And that was the end of the regular season. Before we get to the playoffs, I want to ask each guy, the PCL team's MVP Coach of the Year came out. I'll run through them quick, and then I'll ask each guy for just a quick takeaway from it. We'll go here starting with Jordan Ellerby, MVP, and Coach Harrigan, Coach of the Year from the Prep. Jaron McKee, first team, Sharif Jackson, Kavera Kennedy, Zane Conlon, Nick Parisi, Brady McAdams, Derek Morton-Rivera, Tyler Sutton, and Corey Francis on first team. And on second team, by the way, Olin Chamberlain. Guys, whether it be the teams or just the general Coach of the Year MVP, a quick takeaway from each of you.
I think the takeaway to make is that this is just a stunningly good Hawks team. I mean, the MVP of the PCL, the Coach of the Year, and 2 more all PCL players. I think it just all adds up to show that this is the most impressive year St. Joe's has had in at least a decade for the Vascheria team, and just happy to witness it in all honesty.
Yeah, I looked at the teams. I have no real problem with them. I think they're all pretty fair. You look at that first team. That first team is full of studs. MVP, of course, Jordan Ellerby, Jaron McKee. But then you go some guys on other teams. Zane Conlon, a stud for Devon Prep. Corey Francis, averaging almost 19 points per game this season as only a sophomore. Nick Parisi, one of the leading scorers as well in the PCL. McAdams. And then the 2 guys from Roman, Sharif and Sutton. Also, don't forget about the guys from Judge. Very, very solid first team. The second team and third team also well to follow. No, I really don't have any complaints.
One thing I would say is that I would like to see Luca Foster on that first team. That guy can score the basketball at any level on the floor. I would have loved to see him on that team, on the first team. Was Munir Gregg on the first team? I don't think so.
Munir Gregg did not make a team.
No one from Carroll. That's the epitome. That is the epitome of a disgrace, right there. But yeah, I would say that Luca Foster would definitely deserve to be on the first team. He is an incredible scorer. I love what he did this season.
Yeah, I think I have to agree with that. I was looking at Olin Chamberlain on the second team. I think that was close. I wanted him on that team, but you also look at the contents of this first team and you think, who do you really remove? And I'm not sure. But I do want to give Olin Chamberlain his props. I think you can't just know a basketball game by looking at the stat sheets, even though he does a good job there. I think that he's just an incredibly intelligent basketball player. He works very hard. He plays very good defensively, and that helps a lot, especially against bigger teams, fronting pressuring the ball handler. I think he does a lot of things right. I think the stats may not have helped him the most, but I think he had definitely a run for that first spot.
Absolutely. Well, guys, let's take it to the games that are happening just about 2 hours after this recording. We'll start in Winmore. Let's get those picks. LaSalle College High School takes on Archbishop Ryan. I will start. Give me LaSalle. We'll say by 10.
I think Ryan's a good team, but I'm going to have to take LaSalle. I can't really doubt in a one-game environment Parisi.
I think this game's all dependent on if Nick Parisi actually plays. He was sick with the flu against Cardinal O'Hara. Didn't play on senior day in that one. So if he's good enough to play, give me LaSalle. I think it will be a close game. I think Brendan Russell is definitely going to have a night he's due for one, especially after a not so great performance in that last PCL game. Give me LaSalle, but give me LaSalle by 4 at home.
Yeah, I'll take him by like 5, something around there. You look at a guy like Nick Parisi at the current moment in time can definitely score the basketball. Obviously, there's something going around the PCL when it comes to illness. But, I'm sure he'll be back. He has to play. It's a play-in game. Joey O'Brien obviously back. And this LaSalle team, they're trying to get to the next level right now. This is a must-win, obviously, for both teams. I don't think Ryan has the talent to beat LaSalle. Give me them by 5.
Yeah, I think even if he plays, Parisi will probably be a little tired, potentially sick still. I think I got the upset. I got the Raiders pulling this one out.
Okay.
I want to highlight Matt Johnson, potentially a very underrated defender on Parisi. Yeah. We'll see how he can work that. And then Brandon Russell. I agree with Gavin saying I think he's due for a pretty large performance. I got the upset in a close win. Overtime, actually.
Okay, I like it.
I got an overtime win.
Okay, let's take it now to Drexel Hill. I would say the game of the day. Bonner against Archbishop Wood. Yeah. Gav. I think this is the
Only
best
2
game.
games, Gavin, so
just my opinion. No Devin Nelson for Bonner Prendy. Gavin, these are 2 teams that we both watched and play against the Prep, play them close. Wood sending the Prep to overtime. Bonner barely losing. I'll start. I'm going to go Bonner by a bucket. Give me Bonner by 3. If it's at Wood, I'm going the other way, but in Drexel Hill, give me the Friars.
I think Bonner's going to overcome the injuries. Maybe it's just me wish casting because I don't want to see Wood here at Kelly Fieldhouse, but I think Bonner will manage to stem the bleeding, stop the late season slide, and come out with the win at home.
Yeah, I agree. I think I have Bonner Prendy too, of course, with the Devin Nelson broken toe against West Catholic. Obviously, not what you want to see if you're a Bonner Prendy fan, assuming he is your second leading scorer. Archbishop Wood, they didn't end the PCL season all too well. They lose at LaSalle, and then they lose at Newman Goretti, like we already highlighted. Kind of on the downslip. Corey Francis, I know I mentioned his name on this podcast once before when we were going over the all-Catholic team. He can get it done on the offensive side of things, and we saw that in the game against the Prep. He took over in that first half. If he keeps that up, Cam Jackson and company, Tasir Jackson down low, Bonner gets the win by 7.
I mean, who's going to show up at the end of the day? Are we going to see the team that took St. Joe's Prep to the limit, or are we going to see the team that lost by 14 to West Catholic? It doesn't look like Bonner plays well against bigs. Obviously, they played a big in Wheatley this past weekend, so it's going to be an interesting matchup. I am going to take Bonner, though. It's playoff time. They do need to show up. I will take them by just a few points, probably 4, but I wouldn't be surprised if Archbishop Wood comes out with this one.
I will say both these teams actually gave the Prep a run for their money.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, but I mean, someone's got to counter pick here. I'm going to counter pick, and I'm going to say Wood. Dude, I don't know. This Bonner recent performance has been a little reminiscent to the 2023 Eagles. I mean, shockingly good at the beginning and then shockingly poor at the back half. I don't know if they have the experience to really right the ship that quickly, especially after a loss just like they had. I think I have a Wood win here in a close game.
I think everyone, though, agrees this is going to be a dogfight of a game between these 2 teams. Now let's take it to Thursday's games. There are 2 matchups that we are sure will happen. Let's start in Devon, PA. The Burrs of West Catholic, led by Kingston Wheatley, PCL second team, and Javon Bird third team, head up to Zane Collin and company's house. A tiny gym, a tough place to play. I've got Devin Prep. I think it's going to be closer. I think Javon Bird goes off. Give me him for 30 points.
I will respect West Catholic. I think they are going to be the one upset in these early rounds you're going to witness. I want West Catholic. They're going to go into Devon and win. Javon Bird legacy game. Kingston Wheatley legacy game. I believe in the Bears.
I think Coach Fisher and Devin Prep are going to slow the game down against West Catholic. West Catholic likes to play fast. We saw that against St. Joe's Prep. They didn't do well. They turned the ball over a lot in the backcourt. Give me Devin Prep by 15. Nothing more to say.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of this Devon Prep team at the current moment in time. Reese Kraft, guys like Zane Collin, they have a lot of talent. West Catholic, they can get very cold. They can turn the basketball over. I feel they try to go inside a little bit too much. And a team like Devon Prep that controls the pace of the game, I don't think that's going to fare well for West Catholic. I'll take Devon by a pretty wide margin, by like maybe 10, I'd say.
Yeah, I agree. I think I'm going to go with the Tide here. I'm going to say Devon Prep. Like Ryan said, I don't think West Catholic is going to be able to play the basketball they want to play. I don't think they're going to be allowed to jump out and try and score a bunch of those cheap transition baskets. I think it's going to be a Devon win within 10. I think it's going to be a scrappy win, though. I don't think it's going to be comfortable. West, very physical. They've worked their ass off, and I think it's going to be close.
Yep, I think that's going to be a good matchup. But then we go to the Northeast Philly. Newman Goretti, when at Judge earlier this season, kept it close until I forget which player on Judge just went off in the second half in that one. But I think this is going to be a much closer than people think. Give me Judge, but it's going to be a tight game.
I think honestly, yet again, I might pick Newman. I think Newman's form to end this season has been impeccable, and I feel like you have to trust the established program, even in a rebuilding year, to just come out strong and keep that win over Judge they got earlier. Newman really impressed me when they played the Hawks, especially in that second half, and I think they'll keep that up.
I think Father Judge will take this one at home. All their guys are kind of returning. Like Kaveri Kennedy and Derek Moore Rivera. They've been here before. They went to the Palestra last year before. Newman Goretti against St. Joe's Prep. I don't really see it. And the way Father Judge played in that last PCL in-season game, they really controlled the tempo. They'll control the tempo against Newman. And like you said earlier in the podcast, Anthony, like Newman Goretti likes to play, or maybe it was AJ, it was one-on-one style basketball. Like they only like to just kind of dribble around, not too much offense going there when it comes to running sets and stuff like that, whereas Father Judge is kind of the complete opposite. They're a well-coached team. Not saying Newman's not a well-coached team. It's just a lot of guys like to get out and run, so give me Father Judge.
Yeah, I'll take Judge. I'll take him by about 10. I think that Judge is getting hot at the right time. Obviously took down the number 1 seed St. Joe's Prep in the last game of the regular season. They're going to come back. They're going to come out ready to play. Guys like Derek Morton, Rivera, Kennedy, they can get inside. Newman Goretti, their paint defense is average at best. They don't. I didn't see them defend the three-point ball well against St. Joe's Prep when they played. So, and Rivera, he can get hot at the right time. He's a pure sharpshooter for Father Judge. I will take Father Judge by 7, probably.
Yeah, I agree with that point, especially the one that you made about the three-point shooting. Father Judge, we see very hot from beyond the arc. I think this is going to be a shootout game. I see it as a very high-scoring contest, and I think talent, obviously, a very important thing. And I think Father Judge could potentially outscore every team in the PCL, and I think that's not a position you want to be in. And like Gavin mentioned earlier, Newman really runs that kind of individual basketball system, and I think Judge just beats him out talent-wise. I got Judge by probably 12.
Yeah. Okay, I will say quickly before I ask everyone for their Palestra picks, Roman will host either Bonner, LaSalle, or Ryan, depending on how those games go. And at 4 p.m. at the Kelly Fieldhouse, St. Joe's Prep will host either LaSalle, Ryan, or Wood, again, depending on how those games play out. Roman, the higher seed of those, and then the Prep will face the lower seed. But, guys, Palestra picks, who do we have going? I'm going to start. I'm going full chalk here. St. Joe's Prep, Father Judge, Roman, Devon Prep.
I think it's going to be Prep and Roman in the final. It's going to be just a repeat of that beautiful 40-38 slugfest of a game we saw earlier. I think that's going to be how it realistically concludes. I like Judge, I like Newman, I like West, Devon, all of them. I just don't see them making the run to the final.
Yeah, I have the 4 favorites in the Palestra. I feel like this league's pretty top heavy this year, especially with, Bonner undergoing some injuries. I don't see them beating Roman Catholic if they are to win that first game. So give me Roman, Devon, like Anthony said, and then Prep Judge. And hopefully it's Prep Roman in the final.
Yeah, I'll go with the same. The Prep, Roman, Devon, and Judge. I feel like that there is after those 4 teams, there's not a fall off, but there's like a bigger difference. You can just tell with the way these teams play. After Father Judge and their 10-3 record, you see Newman Goretti with 7-6. West and Bonner the same record. So there is kind of a fall off, and those have been, I guess you could say, the most consistent teams. Even though there really hasn't been too much consistency, but you really can't go any other way based off of what we've seen in the regular season. And if you want to put another team in there, you're just going to have to say this is the PCL, and there's possibly going to be an upset.
Yeah, I mean, not to be boring here, but I'm just gonna take the top 4 guys. Our team, Spartan. I think, like Ryan said, I mean, upsets very possible, but I just don't see. I mean, multiple juggernauts really up here, especially if we highlight the Prep, Roman, and Father Judge all being teams that. I mean, it's a really tall task. I would say the only fluke potentially being Devon, but we'll know that based on how they play going forward. So, we'll see.
Yeah. Let's now take it to the championship picks, guys. I'm gonna go again full chalk here. St. Joe's Prep faces off against Roman Catholic, and you already know who I'm taking: the Crimson and the Gray, the 2 best teams in this Catholic league. Go Prep.
I think it's finally the Prep's year. I'm going to pick them over Roman or whoever they wind up facing in that final. Just gotta have confidence projected out,
I think it's going to be St. Joe's Prep versus Roman as well. I want to take Devon Prep. Over Roman Catholic, but I feel like Roman's experience and being in the Palestra so many years, Devon never getting there in their past 4 years with this kind of senior lineup that they have now. Give me St. Joe's Prep and Roman, and give me St. Joe's Prep to win it.
Give me St. Joe's Prep over Roman Catholic in the PCL final.
Yeah, me too. Same thing.
We're going a little bit biased, but all chalk here. Guys, before we wrap this up, any final thoughts?
Honestly, just go Hawks. That's all I can really say.
Yeah, I don't have anything to say except I'm hoping to hopefully watch 2 good games this afternoon.
Go Prep. I don't know. I guess that go Prep, and well, hopefully we can win. And stay tuned to all the PCL coverage. I know Sorgi and we have a couple interviews respectively coming up over the next couple of days. So yeah, make sure you guys stay tuned for that, and subscribe to Ryan the Great, by the way. Do that.
Yeah, so don't do that. And I mean, I guess my one remark would be, I think this is just St. Joe's Prep's year.
Yeah.
In terms of, not saying that they're guaranteed to win or anything like that. I'm just saying if you look at the roster, there's 9 graduating seniors, I believe.
Correct?
Yeah. I think this is now or never, and I think everyone knows that.
Yep. Okay, guys. Well, that will do it for us. Go Prep, pack the nest on Thursday, 4 p.m. against a to-be determined opponent. I think we all want it to be against LaSalle.
Raiders.
But yeah, thank you for watching Go Prep, and we will see you for episode 3 soon.